Dr. Sia is the expert on DNA, in fact the foremost expert on DNA identification in this country, from the chemistry department. She testified this morning, very importantly. What she said was, they have done swabbing of the deceased body, Sarbaini's body, as he was when he was brought into the mortuary, with his clothes still intact. So when they did the swabbing, they found all of the DNA elements on him were that of him, with the exception of two. Two DNAs were belonging to foreign persons. And this became a serious concern because the issue is who had body contact with the deceased. So they did a lot of investigation with the help of the police. They managed to trace the two foreign DNA to belong to two other deceased persons. One died in hospital, the other died as a result of another fall from a building. And these two individuals, their post-mortem were carried out on the same post-mortem table. So when Sarbaini later on was placed, his body was placed on the same post-mortem table, he had some of the elements of the DNA of these two persons sticking to his parts of his clothes. So it becomes a non-issue anymore, which means that alone will show that nobody had body contact with him that may have caused his fall. That's very critical. Now what is also done was the 5 MACC officers that were last seen and had interaction with Sarbaini on the fateful day of 6th of April 2011. All their clothes were taken away from them on the very day itself by the police. MACC officers, their clothes were taken off by the police in order to do the reverse, to detect whether Sarbaini's DNA would be on this officer's body. And they also found that there is no trace whatsoever of the DNA of the deceased on the 5 officers. This again proved beyond doubt that there were no body contact between the MACC officers and the deceased. Now, Raja Petra, as usual, creates stories in his blog. And he created stories from nothing. In fact, he is the biggest rumor monger that you can find. He's a liar. He created a lot of lies, he himself. And he accused MACC of lies and deception. Now, in part 7 of his series relating to Sarbaini's death, he claimed that certain things were done to Sarbaini, like for instance, the MACC officers made him stand on the window ledge and taunted him and scolded him and asked him not to retract the confession. And apparently in the midst of that, something went wrong. His buckle got caught in some part of the window and he fell. You and I know, those who followed the evidence that was unveiled at the inquest, none of this were even true. Not an iota of it is true. This is a total creation of Raja Petra. That is why I asked the investigating officer, after having read Raja Petra's article, did he find anything that can be supported in Raja Petra's article? He said there's nothing. The whole thing was just an imagination of Raja Petra. Unfortunately, the wife of Raja Petra, the wife of Sarbaini, the widow of Sarbaini, read this article and she got worked up again and she thought there may be some truth to it. You know, a widow who is in grief will always believe something in the current circumstances. And she lost a second police report based purely on the total gossip of Raja Petra, which is unfortunate.